Okay, so you got your first drone. You're gonna wreck that. Okay, let me start over. Let's take a different approach. Droning is a very exhilarating activity. No! Oh, it's fun. It's very creative. It's a lot of fun. I started with a few inexpensive off-brand drones to learn with. You not only need to learn to fly it and operate it, but there is this strange period of time when the activity fills you with anxiety. You're sort of petrified. You're flying around this brick in the sky, and you don't totally trust yourself. But you get over that, and you get confident, and you learn to trust yourself. You got this. I got to the other side of that learning period in about 6 months. I did wreck both of those beginner drones, but I learned a lot in the process. And then I bought my first real drone, and I got my Part 107 license. My first real drone that I still use today, that I still love, is the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Mini 4 Pro is actually difficult to crash. It has collision sensors on it, and it detects a collision before it happens. It prevents a collision. After a year of flying free, having fun, being a little careless, in fact, putting the drone into situations that were risky, I did wreck my Mini 4 Pro. I'd become interested in the production of real estate video, specifically using a drone, not only on the exterior, which it's excellent at, but also droning the interior. And the Mini 4 Pro is rather unideal for interior real estate droning. I bought the prop guards, and I bought the wide-angle lens attachment for the Mini 4 Pro. What I found was the Mini 4 Pro was physically too large to get through doorways and to get down hallways. And the wide-angle lens created too much distortion on the image. The lines of the house looked very puckered and distorted. The final thing that happened that really drove it home to me that I shouldn't be using the Mini 4 Pro for interior droning was crashing it. I ran it into a wall. It took a hard plummet downwards. It ricocheted off some stuff, and when it finally hit the ground, it hit a tile floor, and damage was done to the Mini 4 Pro. I went very quickly through all 5 stages of grief and then thought, okay, well, so how do I get it fixed? I went home and I called DJI customer service, and they're awesome. They're friendly and attentive, and they want to do a good job. They will patiently walk you through whatever issue you're having, whether it be with firmware or whatever. We went through a conversation about what happened to Mini 4, and they decided that I just needed to send in the drone. What I was receiving was an ESC program failure. I could see that there were some cracks in the housing of the drone, and then the smart controller was telling me this ESC error. DJI sent me a UPS label. I went the next day to UPS and got the drone mailed off. The whole process of calling DJI, to mailing the drone back to them, to getting a quote from them, to paying the invoice, waiting for it to be repaired, and then mailing it back and it arriving at my front door, that whole process took 5 days. Amazing. And it wasn't that expensive. I didn't have a warranty and I didn't have the Care Refresh package for the DJI Mini 4 Pro. At that point, I'd owned it and been flying it for over a year, so I just had to pay out of pocket for the expenses of the repairs. But it wasn't very expensive. I have the receipt. I'm happy to show you. My experience getting my Mini 4 Pro repaired, a 10 out of 10. Neo, on the other hand, my DJI Neo, the experience was quite different with Neo. I have the Care Refresh package, and my expectations were kind of high based on what I'd gone through with the Mini 4 Pro. Let me start at the beginning with Neo. Unlike the Mini 4 Pro, Neo is good for droning real estate interior. The lens is wide enough, the drone itself is small and it maneuvers well. It has built-on prop guards, so it can hit a wall and it can withstand it. I made a whole video about real estate droning with the Neo. You might want to check that out if you're interested. Neo, while I had it, was proving to be a very fun little drone friend. It did well with interior droning for real estate, and it followed me around on my bike. It's a sturdy little drone too. It doesn't have those awkward legs to fold in. You can just stick it in a pocket, like a large pocket. I took Neo on a trip to Detroit, Michigan. It's very easy to travel with, and I was really happy with the footage I got with the Neo while in Detroit. On my last day there, I wanted to very quickly just get some B-roll type shots for a video I would later make of the trip. I flew Neo up pretty high, maybe 100 feet or so, and something happened. This is the last footage I have from Neo. It looked to me like one of these flyaway situations I'd heard about. I couldn't retrieve Neo. I didn't know where it flew off to, and I took comfort in knowing I'd purchased the Care Refresh package. Within a few hours of this happening, I reported a flyaway to DJI. They had to do an investigation, and I had to submit the flight log and wait for them to make a determination. They determined that it wasn't a flyaway, and that essentially it wasn't the drone's fault. I think it's likely that Neo got hit by a big gust of wind. Looking back, there were some big gusts that day. I had the Care Refresh package, so I used that. But the savings weren't that profound. To replace Neo was $86, and the Care package was $25. I'm pretty sure this drone only costs like $150 or so. So, well, okay, I paid for the replacement, and they shipped me a new Neo. But then, Neo got stuck in customs. Well, it got stuck in Louisville, Kentucky. I mean, why would Neo get stuck in Louisville, Kentucky? I don't know. After a while, just sitting in a warehouse, I think Neo just got shipped back to sender, because after a few weeks just being stuck, DJI shipped out another Neo.